Hello, we're back. It's been a while, but there were reasons. Um, Basically, there were some upgrades happening, which means there will be a lot more streaming coming up. But for starters, um, I want to do one more Duels of the Planeswalker stream with something that I wanted to build for a long time, basically since the beginning, but I just wasn't happy with the deck. Um, My favorite archetype probably is a blue-black control deck. Maybe Esper control, but um, in general, the key to the deck is in blue and black. I tried building it, but it seemed very inconsistent and not the kind. I couldn't build the kind of deck that I wanted to build. Uh, so now that there are a bit more cards available, I tried again. Um, and I tried to find a way to make it work. But it's just the problems that plagued this deck in the past uh, in this metagame were no efficient removal spells, no efficient counter spells, no efficient card advantage spells, which is and no efficient win conditions finishers. So basically, the four pillars of a blue-black control were very shaky. Um, and this is my first attempt to actually do something with this deck. Um, it will probably tank, but this is the first iteration, and we'll definitely come back to it in the future. There's still a lot of cards that I need to open from the latest sets, uh, Shadows over Innistrad, which I will do at the end of the stream, and hopefully Eldritch Moon brings a few more goodies. Uh, well, regarding those four pillars of a blue-black control deck that I mentioned, uh, I'm just gonna point out how I'm planning to utilize each of them. So for the first one, and I think the most important one, is the deck that has to survive. Um, it needs to play a long game, and to play a long game, you need to survive early and gain card advantage. This was very difficult, and the way I decided to do this is that I should try focusing on getting uh, this lady be one of the focus points of the deck. So ideally, you cast this, and then you make way for her to connect and draw cards that way. Grasp of Darkness is a card that helps a lot, and the addition of this card um, is very key to the success of this deck. I'm not very happy with Horribly Awry, but it's a cheap counterspell that um, usually against most decks um, help you do something early that benefits your plan. Uh, Liliana is a great long-term win condition, and if you can ultimate her with Flashback Marauder on the battlefield or in your hand, just playing it, then basically it's game over. It's very difficult for an opponent to beat this thing coming into play every single turn. Scatter to the Winds is a great counter spell because it's also a threat in the late game. A 3/3 creature is nothing to sneeze at if you can um, consistently get rid of the threats. Uh, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to deal with the card advantage. So Jhacian Thief, Jace. Uh, the card advantage for with Jace is basically because you're playing a utility belt full of various instants and sorceries that are good at any point of the game. Of course, Horribly Awry doesn't really work. Actually, it doesn't work at all unless there's some flash creature in you that you can expect they're gonna cast as a blocker, so you can preemptively select that thing in your graveyard. But other than that, you can essentially flashback languishes, Oblivion strikes. So it's all card advantage, and most of all inspirations and coastal discovery. I am increasingly unhappy with coastal discovery, even though it's a it becomes a 4/4 creature later in the game, plus draw 2 cards. It's just clunky. I'm very rarely happy to cast it, and I still want to try it. I wanted to see how it works in more varied situations. So I'm keeping 1 copy in just to see how it performs when I actually draw it. But so far it's been pretty miserable. Um, Inspiration has been much better in that regard, even though it's essentially a worse card, but I think it's still better than this. Um, Possess Cab also works with card advantage plan, and Confirm Suspicion is a counter spell that I can get behind from the new set. Um, it's true that you need to have the board under control before you can keep this up, but once you do, if you manage to kill the main threats, you can keep this up, and then for the rest of the game, basically, you can either cast a spell or leave something up and draw a card if you don't have to use it, which is extremely powerful. Um, Jace is a card advantage engine. Ob Nixilis is a card advantage engine. Uh, and I'm playing one Alhameret because I still don't know a better finisher than this, and just need something. And this is a good way um, to go all in because they need to have more than one removal spell for it um, if they want to deal with it. So card advantage and counterspell in one is a good idea. Same thing because it's a counterspell, and you can also get a creature out of it. Um, this thing is, I'm still not sure about it. If there was a more versatile 2 mana counterspell, I would definitely play that. But for now, this is what we have to operate with. Um, so for removal, I already said Grasp of Darkness. I keep saying it every single time. It's the best removal spell in the format for me. Flashback Marauder is actually great. Whirler Rogues, it seems weird for this kind of deck to play Whirler Rogues, but just getting 4 creatures on the board um, can be really, really impactful. Plus, they can help get Kalitas through for that much needed life. And just generally are good at protecting you or your planeswalkers, because it's really hard to deal with 4 creatures at the same time without dealing with their own as well. And that definitely helps you buy time, and you can then return them maybe with Zeskab if you don't have anything better in the graveyard. I think that pretty much covers it. I just want to see how this deck plays against real decks, real opponents. See what the main weaknesses are in the format or in the metagame, and try to adjust along with getting new cards and see how I can make this better. Okay, so let's jump right in. Still right where we left off. The last time, I don't remember what it was, 28 or something rating. We'll see soon enough. I'm really curious if this is anywhere near good enough to play. But one of the main problems of that, that's one thing I forgot, is the land. But the lands are basically the same. It's just that it's just blue-black lands and Westwell Abbey. Okay, so we are level 30. Going against level 34 player. Okay, this is not a great hand, but it has some removal. Yeah, I will keep. Drank Bar. Let's see what we're doing. Red. Might not be an aggressive deck. Well, that was not a great draw. Two of these is problematic. No play. Okay. So if it's not an aggressive deck, we might have a chance. We might have a chance even with this hand. Oh, very much not an aggressive deck. Alright. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay, good. I would love to have played this the previous turn. That would be really good. Okay. This is the kind of gameplay that this deck wants to get into. So, definitely killing that. Huh. There are different ways to do it now, I guess. I think I will use this, even though it doesn't use my mana in the best possible way. It's just that this kills bigger creatures, and so does this. So maybe if they play an even bigger threat next turn, and somehow I don't draw a land. Well, this is what I was saying. This deck has a real problem drawing lands. It plays 25, and there's a bit of card draw as well. Huh. Okay, now we're scary mana, which means we might have to start keeping up counter spells. I don't even know how many. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 or 10. Well, I got nothing to play anyway. Oh, now it's 10. Ooh. Okay, I've been had. Well, that wasn't a good draw. Let's try this thing. Wow. Okay. Completely annihilated. Yeah, I deserve that. I absolutely deserve that. I should have been patient. Like there was no reason for me to play anything because I knew that something. I just expected an Eldrazi, not this. So just that. Oh man, I just didn't want to discard the card. That's all. And yeah, I'm gonna be losing just because of that. I don't think there's anything I can do. If I had drawn an island, maybe, but not like this. I don't even know what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that's not it. Okay. Nope. Well, hopefully this was a lesson learned. Um, I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I was expecting an Eldrazi, and if they went all in on that, I had a removal spell for it. But it was much, much, much worse. And this deck cannot deal with 5/5s. I mean, multiple 5/5s, of course. .09 is the next opponent. It's not great. What? What? Okay. We'll see what we're playing against. Another red-green deck. That's more than a red deck. I need to get my double black. See if I can't counter here. Huh, no land. That's weird. Nothing. Alright. In that case, I have plenty of time. Uh-huh. I'll take two. I don't know what I was thinking. They can discard if they want. Okay. Well, just continue with land go. There's a land. Okay. Sure. Next turn, I have Languish plus Scatter Up. Actually, I'll just do this. Take that. Thank you. I am 100% blocking. So let's clean that thing up. Decisions. Nissa. I think I counter Nissa. That just gives Gives them another land. Ah, yeah. Now I wish I could have protection for Jhacian. So instead, this, this. Yeah, obviously if I had Jace, or if I knew I was drawing Jace, I would not have counted me, so I would just kill it. Because if I manage to flip Jace, that's huge. Our opponent is still off land, presumably. Another. I can play. I'll hammer it. And see what my opponent is working with. I have a lot of cards though. But I mean, what else? Let's try. Clutch of Currents. Hmm. So it's either Adverse Conditions or Clutch of Currents that I want to prevent. Okay, so I guess I picked nothing. Great. Well, serves me well for being so slow. I should have just picked something. I don't know what is worse. I should probably have picked Adverse Conditions. Because actually probably Bounce. I should have picked Bounce. If I pick Clutch of Currents, then they have to spend all their mana to tap this to attack. Nah. Yeah, I feel so stupid. It's not great. Yeah. Yeah. I can only play one Grasp. Again, stupid. This was supposed to get tapped. So I would have a bounce and... never mind. Now I can't play my bounce spell. That's wonderful. I wanted to bounce a land or one of the tokens with Clutch of Currents and still keep the Grasp of Darkness up. But clearly that's not happening. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I just have to let that happen. Because they have the +2/+2, so... So I can kill the 6/6 or just bounce it. I think I like bouncing it and playing. I'll hammer it. Okay, that's all fine. I'll take adverse conditions. Okay, we're not out of it yet. We have 2 flyers in the land. Okay, so they did draw land. Okay. Oh, that's a good draw. Unfortunately, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually can't do this. Okay, so yeah, play Kalitas. Unfortunately, this exile, so this is not gonna be the value I'm hoping for. Can't attack. Now they can play a big vigilance dude. Blue, red, green. 5/5. Yeah. That's not gonna do it. But I can tap it down for a turn. That's something. So we tap this down, and crucially now we can gain some life. Yeah. attacking with these two. Now play. No, not like that. You idiotic game. There we go. Play Jace, keep up Grasp of Darkness in case something goes terribly wrong. I think if Jace survives, we have this locked. Otherwise, who knows? The flip Jace, I have a bunch of stuff to do. Nothing, huh? Okay. Well, here goes nothing. Okay. So I'm tempted to use Jace and get a counter spell so nothing can go wrong here, but I think okay, so let's attack here. Oh wow, didn't even block. Okay, I don't know what it was, but it worked out. It was a long game, as expected with this deck, but at least we pulled out somehow. Yeah, that was bad. Me doing me, thinking way too long. The thinking time has been severely cut, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind that. What I do mind is that they um, they don't allow you to play instants at sorcery speed anymore. That is just horrific. Well, I like all of these cards. I don't think I can keep this. Oh, this is even worse. So now I have to keep the same hand as it was at the beginning, just worse. Okay, we're not winning this game. Aiko Tengu, good luck. You're not gonna need it. Mulliganing is just miserable. And mulliganing into no gas, no removal spell. What am I supposed to do against that? The only thing that can save us here is they play a bunch more creatures and we draw Languish. That's about it. Yeah. And this is exactly the card that we don't want to see. There's still none of these in my card pool. Yeah, that's about right. But hopefully after tonight's shopping, they will appear. Yeah, see, they're just throwing around with us now. I can't do anything. So it's Languish or bust. Wow. Seriously. I don't think playing this helps anything. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, this was a rough mulligan. Our first hand was exactly the same as our 6-card hand. But with one less 5+ turtle drop. And the second hand was pretty good, but with one land, there's nothing. So our opponent is ramping. They have a 4/5 now, which means, yeah, this game is pretty much over. I mean, honestly, this was obvious from the beginning, but no comment. Better luck next time. I mean, these things happen to all the decks, so sooner or later. What happened more often during the testing period, which is more like a gold fishing period, was that it just drawing lands was the biggest problem. And this game we just drew all lands all the time. And now it looks like connection problems. I'm gonna play one more match with this deck and then buy some boosters to hopefully open up potentially new decks and strengthen some of the older ones, especially the Super Friends deck, which needs those tireless trackers. Because everybody else is playing it, so why can't we? The worst part about this is that you cannot exit. It's just impossible. The game doesn't let you exit from the joining session. Because clearly something has gone wrong. Something is stuck. I'm gonna have to restart the game, it seems. Womp womp. Okay. Let's see. It's just the server? Oh. Alright. Let's do this. Yeah. Something gets stuck and then you just cannot get out of it. Doesn't happen too often, but I wish there was some way you can cancel that thing. Our last opponent is a mighty master Sergius. Hopefully we can go back to 30 and end this on 50-50 rate. Yeah, I'll keep. It's not amazing, but can buy some time, draw some cards, discard some cards. Ooh, that's a good draw. I like that one. There's not enough removal spells here to help it, but our opponent isn't doing anything at the moment, so maybe? Drawing two of these is not great. I was expecting the bounce mage. No? Huh. Okay. This works. Well, that's not the worst that can happen. That, on the other hand, is much worse. Oh, come on. Get in there. Blocks? Fair enough. Yeah, I was expecting Reflector much sooner. Womp womp. Okay. Huh. I can clear the board and make this live, but I can't get in. If they have a dispel, then they got me. Essence Flux. Wow. I did not expect that one. Well, let's see if they can answer Languish. They could not. Alrighty. Hmm. That's not the best. I can play Hammer it and threaten Jace next turn, or kill this, draw 2 cards, put Gideon down to 1 loyalty. Angelic Purge, Suppression Bonds, Whirler Rogue. Oh, this is so bad. Um, I guess I'll take away that. Yeah, that didn't work out. Not even a little bit. Especially since I picked the wrong card. By picking Suppression Bonds, I wanted them to at least have to sacrifice something, but Angelic Purge actually removes the creature, and yeah. Now they have both spells available to them. This was another masterclass by me. I have I have no excuse. I have no excuse except that obviously I'm not thinking straight under pressure. Unfortunately, as soon as I make a decision, I realize everything that I should have done. But that has been my problem since forever. Again, just brilliant mana tapping by. Constantly have to pay attention. Oh, come on! I was. I had a counter spell ready. I just didn't. Yeah. I don't know what to do with myself. What am I doing? The only reason I'm not hitting something is because I'm streaming. I'm so miserable. Just the actual worst. Yeah, there's no point. See if I can draw anything. Wow. How did I know? Yeah, I just made myself lose. I can put this thing down to 1 and then lose. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was horrific, horrific, horrific. Again, horrific. Um, uh, let's just buy boosters. I just lost concentration, tilted after making a bad choice with Alhammered. So I wasn't paying attention. For the counter spell. Okay, we got 1 Anguished Unmaking and a Sinister Concoction. Next. Hey, the Gitrog monster. Well, this could be useful. Reckless Scholar is fine. No, this can actually make it into the blue-black deck. So there are no Merfolk-looters. Fever Visions. I'm intrigued by this. Essence Flux totally owned us. Maybe not totally owned us, but I didn't expect this to see play. Scourge Wolf. Meh. Angelic Forge is fine. Ooh, Elusive Tormentor. That's a good card. The rest is not much. Hey, there's Avacyn. Sweet. Oh, so 2 mythics already. Still no tireless trackers. Still waiting for the first one of those. Nope. Devil's back. Oh, there's a Duskwatch recruiter. That will definitely be making an appearance eventually. And nope. It's the blob. It's the blob. And not much else. This I will probably try to abuse, but I don't know how well it will go. So 73% of the set collected, still no tireless trackers. Let's try 8 more. Yeah, we have 4,500 coins, so probably be enough for the rest of the set. Garage Bandit. Maybe this is a little bit better in constructed. Limited. This is okay. Not much else. Sage of the Ancient Lore. Okay, good. Another Necro Scholar. Firehound is probably good in a red-blue deck. And another mythic. Yep. Black-red vampires are now officially a go. It's probably going to be a vampire madness deck, something like that. No, there's Sting in the Ice, and none of those either. I think the rest is much whatever. Invocation. Yeah, next. Yes, that have cultivator. There are no accelerators, basically, in this format, so that's a good thing to have. As well as Duskwatch recruiters. Well, we're finally stocking up on those as well. That's good. Still need tireless trackers, blocks. Nope, another Scourge World. Okay. And hey, well, I guess it had to happen eventually. Okay, one down, one to go. At 83%. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have enough to complete this set in time for the release of the new set. Here's the second Sage and the last Scholar. Okay, more possibilities. Tamia's Journal. Forgot about this. Yeah, this will definitely be a deck that I'm going to be playing in the future. And the blue-black deck will probably go a bit on a back burner still. At least until I get good at this game. Or at least better. And more focused. The second Talios Athena. This is gonna be in the next deck. So I'm gonna foreshadow it. But it's not gonna be a aggressive white humans deck. It's gonna be white with some blue. A white-blue aggressive deck. That I quite like actually. Icon Bishop. Huh. This is not human, so that's what's bothering me. Although I might still want to bring it into the just mentioned deck. I will definitely give it a try. Second Avacyn's Judgment. Another thing for the black-red deck, I think. Although at this point, might even have too many cards. Let's see. Drama Temper. I don't know how I'm gonna abuse this, but I thought it was much worse than it actually is. I just don't know if it's good enough for this metagame. Let's see. And there we go. This is all I wanted. The second Tireless Tracker. Now I can make much better decks. Yeah. We can only buy 5 more boosters. which means that we have just enough. We'd have enough for 6. Okay, perfect. So all the available cards will now be available to me. I mean, all the existing cards in the game will be available. I don't even want to mention that invocation. Diagraph Colossus. I love zombies, so I'm gonna have to find a way to make that thing work. Hopefully with Eldritch Moon there will be enough zombies, good zombies, to make that deck a thing. So for Partisan, no, that's good. Apparent Researcher, I like. Definitely want to try some sort of. Yeah, here's the second Colossus. So actually we got this thing even later than the first tracker, so I was there was actually a card that was hiding even more, but I missed the trackers way more. And from under the floorboards, more zombies. Excellent. So that's it. The entire collection is completed. All that's left now is to foil the important cards and make new decks. And that'll be coming up soon. Till then, enjoy whatever you're doing. I'll see you soon.